Yo, what's up, guys? So today I just want to talk about why renting assets are one of the most easiest and laziest ways to make money as well. So you guys, renting your assets is literally just seeing what you have at home and then just putting it on Facebook Marketplace, or even just let's say for example, you can create an Instagram page. You can get some of the mix, take some of the rent a camera, take some high quality photos of some of the items and some of the things you have in your house, because I'm sure you might have an electric bike, an electric scooter, you might have a PlayStation, you might have a DVD player, you might have workout equipment, you might have some expensive technology, you might have let's say laptops, whatever it is, jewelry. Some people will actually rent these out and then they'll return it back to you. So now you might say, but if I rent out my jewelry, what if somebody steals it? That's when you have to do your research. You have to understand who you're renting out your jewelry to. If you're renting out expensive jewelry, if you have, let's say you have a diamond necklace or gold chain or whatever it is, and these cost like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, and let's say you rent it out at $20 a day. Tell the people that you want to have a credit check. You want to check their credit. Tell them to send you their credit, not their credit information, but their credit score. Do a background check on these people. See, make sure that they fit the bill, that they're trustworthy, and then they pay off their bills on time. And then in return, you'll know that, okay, this is a trustworthy person. It's a upstanding member of society. Their credit score checks out. I'm gonna rent my jewelry to this person, or I'm gonna rent my my car to this person, or I'm going to rent my there's different things you can rent, and these are assets you already have. You don't have to go out and get them. You don't have to go start a business. You don't have to it's not a lot of upfront costs. All it is taking a nice picture or a nice video of that, some of the things you already have and you already own, and then renting it out. Some people will even rent out clothing. So if you have high brand designer clothing and it fits the person, they'll rent it out for maybe a party, or maybe they'll rent it out for a wedding, or maybe they'll rent it out for a vacation for 2 weeks. Sometimes people want to, let's say you have a Louis Vuitton duffel bag, right? You have a few Louis Vuitton duffel bags, or let's say you have a few Gucci duffel bags. People will rent out Louis Vuitton duffel bags and Gucci duffel bags for a vacation. They'll rent it out for 2 weeks. So think about that, guys. These are things that you can already have and you already own, and people will actually rent these out. So it's a great way on how you can do things, guys. Another thing you can do also is you can rent out your rooms. Rooms are also a great way as well. If you have, like, let's say you have an apartment, right, or you have a condo, and you can easily rent out the entire condo for the weekend. You're going out for the weekend, you're gone on vacation, you rent it out easily, super easy, guys. So these are things that you can actually do, and you already have. So it's not you're breaking the bank, or it's not like you're actually trying to figure out ways on how you can what can you do to make money. No, this is a great way on how you can actually make money. So just rent out the assets you already have and you already own, that you spent so much time trying to obtain. Rent it out. You're going away for the weekend. Put your apartment on Kijiji, or sorry, not Kijiji, but on Airbnb. Airbnb, that's what it's for. People who created Airbnb, it was to rent out short-term rentals. People do it all the time. In the summer, that's one of the greatest times, because people, they want to go to the cottage, they want to do everything. If you have a cottage, rent out the cottage for the whole entire summer. When you rent out your cottage for the summer, go to a different country and enjoy. Go to Spain, go to Barcelona, travel around the world. And then after summer's done, you can come back. You hire the cleaners to clean your spot for you, and everything's great. So rent out your assets, guys. For right now, figure out what assets you have at your house. Write it down, and then see, and how can you get started. What can you start renting out. Go on Facebook Marketplace, go on Airbnb, go on Turo. You can rent your car out, and then start making plans. So maybe if on the weekends you want to you're at home all the time, instead of staying home, go on a little weekend trip. Rent out the car. You can charge $100 a day, $200 a day, and let that pay for your vacations. So figure out ways on how you can rent out your assets, guys. You know, let us know in the comments below how you're going to get started, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.